online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Okay, I haven't heard the song ever. But let's just go for it. What's up, everybody? Hello. Welcome to another episode of AfterBuzz TV's RuPaul's Drag Race. This is episode 2, season 7, Glamazonian Airways. I'm back. Hello, everyone. I miss you guys.
Yay, Kenny.
And
so are Kenny's teeth.
He has gorgeous new teeth.
I'm glad you know that,
kidding.
bitch. That's what $5,000 will get you.
And they don't leave marks.
Not only do I have new teeth, I have a new name. It's no longer, as Courtney would say. Oh, Courtney Stewart. Hi. Shout out. It's actually my name, Kenny C. Harrison. Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah. That's all I need. Who's with me tonight?
At 123 Jackie_B.
And you got a new look tonight.
I do have a new look.
Inspired by?
It's not inspired by anything. I just was like putting on makeup and then threw a wig on. But I was saying that I looked like the woman who does the costumes on the Invincibles.
Yes.
Okay,
fun fact, this jacket was the very first thing I wore on the first AfterBuzz TV show I did with Cam and Kenny.
And I'm sure some hater out there is going to have some comment for that.
I know. They're going to be like, bitch, you look like
so you need to just
turd face.
Make like Taylor Swift and shake it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Across from me, we have
Mark J Freeman at Lorraine Love.
And your hair.
And this is the same wig I wore last week.
Okay.
And that's what it looks like when I don't have product in it.
Yeah, it looks like this.
And finally, we have
Tamakava 777.
Well, not finally, because we have Marissa in the corner here.
Yeah.
Hi, Marissa.
Hello, guys.
How you doing?
All right, how are
For
you
any
doing?
of you brothers,
missed you.
for any of you brothers with a little
I missed
Asian
all of you.
persuasion,
She's very
our
attractive.
homegirls
She has a
hit it.
boyfriend.
She's very attractive. Oh, you know what? This reminds me of Uma Thurman, Pulp Fiction. That's what I wanted to say.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Mia Michaels.
Definitely.
No, not Mia Michaels. Mia Wallace.
Yes.
Pulp Fiction reference.
Yeah.
Okay, so episode 2.
yeah.
Was way better than episode 1.
Are we going to do Untucked?
Untucked.
Oh, yeah.
Real
So
recap.
a quick shout out. So if you haven't noticed that they don't air Untucked on Logo, they have to put it on YouTube. I don't know. I've been trying to figure out why. There's got to be a reason. And so what were your thoughts about Untucked,
Budget.
if any?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Did anything
clearly, we're down to a gold couch.
It's so funny.
We're down to like what we had in like seasons 1 and 2, where
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
a hallway.
Yeah.
Because someone mentioned, I think it was Chanel. She brought it up. She was like, "This when she was back for the All Stars.
All-Stars.
She was like, this is much better." But now they're back to
Yeah.
like walking behind
Yeah.
the studio.
I don't necessarily mind so much that it's behind, but I mean, compared to what it was,
Yes.
yeah.
it's just a little downgrade.
Each season since like season 3 has gone down.
Yeah.
Because it was like the Illusions
Illusions
Interior,
Lounge.
and then it
Illusions
just
Lounge.
became the Vodka Lounge, and then now it's just backstage on the
it's
couch.
like-
There is
The
the one
couch.
positive thing I will say is that as far as YouTube, Drag Race has only been on the Logo website or online, so this is expansion for them into another platform.
True.
So they have not only Untucked, but then they have those little like other clips
Yeah.
that are on YouTube. So it's bringing I guess you can argue it's bringing it to a wider audience because you know a random person is not going to stumble across drag queens like Googling Logo. It's
Right.
going to be for
True.
that audience.
But
So-
I find that in the past, I would stay up late to watch Untucked because there were a lot of Untucks in the past. I just put my hand in your shot, sorry. that I have to, and I'm so glad because I watched you last week, and I'm so glad I'm no longer the hands guy.
I am. I always you'll watch.
I'm passing the torch.
Hands under the table.
No, but I liked. There were a lot of Untucks that were actually better than the actual episode in the past. Right. So it's a little disappointing, and I think that we used to get a lot of backstory
and insight.
Now they're kind of like pushing it in the actual episode, and we're just kind of like, because we were sitting earlier watching, and we're like, where did that come from? Yeah, so that's my take.
You're
on
right.
The whole
they are
Untucked.
putting the sob stories that used to be in Untucked are now in the episode because we were like, whoa, wait, how did this develop?
Because before it was strategically placed in the past. Now it's just kind of like random.
It's like, now you talk about your grandpa who was murdered.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. So that's it. Jackie just needs.
Well, we all agreed we liked the introduction as to how they were told they made the show.
Yeah,
yes.
We got to see how
that was
their
cute.
reactions.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I liked, I still do think Untucked serves a purpose as far as like when you have this many queens, really getting to know the queens, because you can tell that there are just like Ginger Minj gets a funny quote in almost like every couple minutes.
Yeah.
And not all of the queens get to shine. And it's interesting. I don't know if this has changed for you, but I know you weren't a huge Pearl fan. But actually, after watching Untucked, I became a huge Pearl fan because to me, she's like the Daria of the drag queens, where she just kind of like deadpan says what she thinks. And you're like, but that's a nugget of truth.
I was thinking about it when we were watching today's episode. I don't dislike any of them. Just putting that out
It's
there.
okay if you do.
I don't know them.
It is okay if you do.
I don't dislike her. You can tell that they're young.
Well,
yeah.
And I think that that's what I'm seeing is that they're young. And with Miss Fame, this episode saying all the stuff about, but I'm pretty, I'm like, and Jasmine was right, Yeah. You got to eventually go out on stage and entertain an entire room of people.
And I'm going to back you up on that because this is
I'm not.
Well, we'll get to you in a second.
He likes
But
the pretty.
I want to back you up in saying that this
Kim's
is
always dressed
this is a competition show.
Yeah.
This show is designed for people to have favorites and have likes and dislikes.
Right.
You can't like them all. And I have to agree, the younger queens are, first of all, a lot of them are running together in my mind. Like Pearl, Miss Fame, they all
Violet.
Yeah.
And they sound the same. A lot of the things that they're saying are a lot of the same stuff.
I'm an older guy now, so I can say I think it's
now.
I'm a senior citizen. It has to do with the younger generation.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of younger people. I think we talked about this last year, coming out at a young age, and this is how like the voice affectations and that whole.
There's a lot of similarity in the way they do their makeup too. I felt like in last season, just in all past seasons, I felt even though like people clocked Bianca for her like clown kind of makeup,
right?
It made her stand out.
Yeah.
She looks really different, and that's what Trixie looks very different to me because of her makeup choice.
What were you gonna say?
I mean, going back to the youth thing, it's life muscle. Right? They'll get some experience.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm sorry, Pro had the winning rip for the whole show because some of our aspirations are not to be doing the club or being drag at a club for the rest of our life.
Was that Pearl or Miss Fame?
It was Miss Fame.
That was Miss
Fame.
Yeah.
And
again,
that was the best.
They
rip
all
of the
run
whole show.
together.
Well, she better start
girl.
liking it because she's going to be in a lot of clubs around this United States.
And
the next
I
year.
actually liked her because when she was being critiqued on stage at the end when they were telling her to loosen up and she was like playing with it.
She was kind of like,
at least she had fun with it. She's not so serious and bent on herself like Chachki, who are still like that she can't roll with it. You gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah.
I gotta stop and I guess do some housekeeping. No one's telling Marissa just go with it. But if you're watching us on YouTube, I've been told to just point down to my junk again. So point down, make your comments on YouTube. Jackie has a shout out that she wants to give out for our iTunes viewers.
I do for back to YouTube really quickly though. Hit that thumbs up button. That really helps us out. And I noticed a lot of old friends have been commenting on there. They're our friends by now. It's like we have a community of people that have watched this show.
Jay Snivens is like the watchdog of YouTube.
Yes. There's a lot of people. Literary masturbator. I see.
Pinky commented.
Bryce is
on point.
Well, actually,
Kenny wrote Bryce's name on his notes.
No offense to Bryce, but that's the new pit crew. That's why I wrote that. His name is Bryce.
Shout out to Bryce anyway. Bryce the ring.
You should have just rode that way.
And that's not even
I'm
like
a truthful person.
That's not even that's just like a small tip. Small tip.
Oh.
It's just a small tip of the amount of people
We know what Jackie's thinking.
that talk to us and comment on us year after year after year, and we really appreciate it. But because we really live off of our iTunes reviews. A couple people commented on iTunes. If I butcher your name,
said,
I'm
what
sorry.
is this shit?
Duskengard is my #1 fan, and if I butchered your name, I'm so sorry, but that's awesome. Bryce commented on our iTunes. He highly recommends us, by the way. And Lena Bina 1908 said
Lena
that,
Bina?
Yeah.
I like that.
She must be Mexican.
Oh, no, it's just B-E-N-A. I might not be
Make your
saying that right
comment.
either.
Right. You're going to get it.
Rip me, I don't
You're
care.
going to get it.
Well, she said that we catch things that they miss, which is...
Yeah.
That's awesome.
what we
Sometimes.
do.
Sometimes we do.
Yep.
Sometimes we entirely
Well, we only have the hour before we come in
Yes.
here to
Yes,
watch
I want
it.
to comment
It's
on
not
that
like we're
too,
not-
because a lot of people are saying, oh, well, why don't you watch it 4 or 5 times? Okay, we're watching the East Coast feed here, and then we come in and tape.
We
so
do have lives
So,
outside of the
well, not only
studio.
that, I
we
mean,
would love to watch it. I would if it wasn't that way.
Not to defend ourselves, like I forget who did it in this
Yeah,
episode.
fuck that. We're not defending ourselves.
For what?
No, I'm just, it's a thing I feel like I have to explain because people are like, oh, you missed this and this and this.
We're supposed to be professional.
Jackie is the most fair on this entire panel.
Yes,
She's
yes.
always about the underdog. She will defend, and she does the right thing.
Well, I also think I tend to like the different queens.
Yeah.
Queens that are,
Speaking of the queens, what do you guys think of this episode as a whole?
I loved it.
Way
That's
better
an
than
odd
the first.
segue.
Yes.
Well, no, I mean we're talking about defending ourselves now. We're talking
Oh,
about the
okay.
queens.
All right.
Oh, but
Oh, the winner.
sorry.
Wrap that around.
If you comment on iTunes, we'll give you a shout out.
Okay, good.
Straight
Maybe.
up.
That's
Maybe.
basically.
No, I'm just kidding.
Straight up.
So, the beginning of the episode, you know, it's just basically, and I don't want to regurgitate
Recap.
again, but the mini challenge again was a different challenge. You know, they had to blow the pit croon.
Okay, and why was Moby there?
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean,
Please
There's
let us know.
I
I
an
get
album
you're
coming
friends
out?
with Rue. and-
Maybe.
Maybe it's an album coming out or a
Maybe.
single.
But-
He's gonna drop
Well,
a
they didn't
single.
talk about it.
The last time I
But is Moby gay? I just don't get
I
it.
don't know.
Not yet. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
Let us know. What do you guys
But
know?
I don't think it necessarily makes a difference if he is or not. because,
No, but
you know.
I mean, I'm just... It
You want to
seems
know
like
his
a-
relevance to the show.
Yeah, it seems like a
I get you.
randomness.
I don't even care about the relevance to the show. Relevance of being there for that challenge.
Yeah.
That's well.
And
maybe-
he even said this is the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Was he caught at a glory?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's like, it's like this challenge though is like all the mini, not all of them, but a lot of the
lot of
mini
them.
challenges, it's like everybody starts to look the same. There's only so much you can differentiate yourself when you're blowing a giant chunk of wind into your mouth.
And we've complained about this time and time again of how does Rue pick a
I have
winner
no
out of all
idea.
this.
I have no idea.
And I think
Everybody's mouth
again,
looks
this
the
is
same.
strategic, so you can have Trixie and
Ginger.
Ginger Minge on different teams.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then my favorite part is the middle school. I don't want to be the last one picked for
Picks.
the
Poor Candy Ho.
her face. I didn't feel bad. I mean,
I don't feel bad for her, and I think she was defending herself for that lip sync for her life, and I don't know if she should have been so proud of that, but whatever. I think.
so. Yeah, that was a mini challenge.
Yeah.
That happened.
It did happen.
I have to say though, for them to have to do makeup in 15 minutes, as someone who does makeup quite a bit,
but they weren't
some of
perfect.
them looked. I was like, "Shut up!" In 15 minutes,
Yeah,
you did
some
that.
of
They
them
looked
looked really
good. Who did I
good.
write? Ginger, Katya, Jasmine, Trixie, Kasha, Max. I thought
So
they
that's-
all looked.
that's
I
like
was
half
like,
of 'em.
that's not even bad. I know. I thought they did great.
I would-
Some
for
of them
15
looked
minutes.
really good, but the
I mean, you
thing
can
is-
tell some of them did just joking stuff to
Oh, yeah.
and that's probably what I would have done. But I couldn't believe. I was like, shit, they did good.
Yeah, they did
Yeah,
a really
I
good
really
job.
thought
But the thing I was like, they put on all this really nice makeup to not see their face,
Yeah.
you know, basically.
Yeah, so that happened, and then they go and split off into groups.
And
Now,
Violet and
Go ahead.
Violet and Candy were the last two picked.
Yeah.
They
Rightfully
were
so. I mean, you know, you
the
pick your
last two
favorite.
to the
I was
prom.
actually surprised that Sasha Belle was the first one picked.
I'm thinking her and Ginger are friends. And they're actually performing this weekend in Iowa. I told them I'd give them a shout out.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure they're already
Shout out.
on stage by now, so no, this isn't new to anybody, but I told them I'd give them a shout
Oh,
out.
there you go. I mean, I would, in a competition, if they are friends, I never saw Sasha as a threat, so I would not have picked her first. Even if she's I'm going to pick the right person.
Yeah.
You know, with
Well-
like the whole Coco and Alyssa thing, you pick the person who's gonna win.
And
the
I think,
challenge.
and I think if it was team to team, although we talked about this, I thought as a whole it was a great performance from start to finish.
Oh, yeah.
Both teams, I thought Ginger's
was better.
they
Was
just
better.
were more characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and she even mentioned that she had more diversity on her
And
team.
I agree.
Because if you look at the other team, what did she say? The
Aryan
Aryan
Airlines.
Airlines, Airlines, yeah, it was the best.
But I have to agree because they all kind of meshed together
They
and
did.
they kind of all look similar. I couldn't tell. Thank God for like the editors because they put the names of each performer when
Yeah.
they had their solo or
Yeah.
even if it was two at a time, and that helped me determine who was doing what
Right.
because I got lost.
I-
That
there-
helps at this
Yeah,
stage.
you
of
ask,
the game.
it's hard to tell sometimes. You're like, wait, was that Miss Fame? Was that Pearl? Because they do start
Yeah.
to.
So you guys think that Ginger Minge's group had more character, correct?
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
agree.
Yes.
I believe that the first group, Trixie's group, was the performance was cleaner. But this is a good example of how
Aside
just because you're clean doesn't mean you're entertaining.
Right. I mean, aside from
True.
Katya, who completely flubbed the entire first opening lines.
Watermelon, watermelon,
Sasha
watermelon.
Belle, I wasn't impressed by Kasha either. I don't care what the scat thing they thought they saw. It looked horrible to me.
it looked horrible
Yeah,
to me
it
too.
So
wasn't.
again, a few of the characters on that team made it for the rest of the people. I still think that group one was cleaner.
But as
In
we
appearance.
saw that the teams didn't matter, which
Because some people
'Cause it
in
was
our
individual.
viewing panel believe that they had such a short time that lip syncing shouldn't really maybe be a huge part of it. And that's the only thing that Katya really messed up was the lip syncing.
sync,
part.
yeah.
So going
is a
by
short-
that, the visual for me, again, group one was clean, but I think that I liked Jasmine.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've
Her
seen her in
character.
person, and
Yeah.
she is amazing.
She's a person.
That
She's
was
a great
another.
performer.
Remember, was it last season with Darian Lake? Darian Lake
Yeah.
was in last season.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. When she did the head on the plate thing,
Yes,
and it's
and
like
that-
she had that really small
and nailed
part,
it.
and she nailed it, and that's
She
how
won
I
the
felt.
challenge.
That's how I felt about Jasmine.
gave good
it's
head.
like. Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about Jasmine. She had a really small part, but she made the best of
Stiff
it.
it.
So whenever people complain and say, "Oh, my part's too small," it's like you can't
Yeah.
do that.
But
Which
Sasha
is
Belle
no
did have a
small
small
parts.
part, and she just
Flubbed it up.
Yeah.
Well, and the whole thing with her hair that they were saying she was taking it down. I'm sorry, that was planned. That was a banana clip. That was planned, and I understand the concept.
The
I
reveal.
get what she was doing. She was sitting on his lap. She's gonna let her hair down. I get it. That stuff happened. I mean, I get anybody who's performed live and not even drag. Stuff happens.
Yes.
You make the best of it. It was caught on camera. Sorry, national television, but yeah, you just got to make. The
My
best
thing
of
is,
it. I don't know how to make
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to
lemons out of lemonade.
Sorry.
Done.
It's RuPaul's show. She can do whatever she wants. But if you're gonna, if they're gonna be team challenges, I kind of want the team. I want them to be a team winner and two people from that losing team.
Well, I think I was going to say this when you were talking earlier about like how now it's not necessarily the runway
Right.
that makes the winner.
Yeah.
It's the challenge, and then sometimes it is the runway. And I think that's the producers doing, because they're like, okay, well, we can't. So they clearly wanted somebody to go home that was on the winning team,
Right.
Yeah.
And they said,
Yeah.
okay, we'll just make it individual.
Yeah.
That's clearly
Yeah.
a conscious decision
Clearly,
that they
because
were-
Ginger Min should not have won that. I'm sorry.
Well, she should. I thought she deserved it for the performance. I don't necessarily think she had the best.
But I think we all agree
Runway.
that runway and
Runway apparently
performance.
doesn't matter anymore.
No, and it should.
No, I know, and it was
Yeah.
like milliseconds.
Yeah.
Milliseconds. How many times did we
had to
stop and go
stop
back?
and pause? Yeah.
Yeah.
They've done that before.
Comment on that, you guys. Do you
Yeah.
guys think that runway should have a little bit more weight,
Weight?
Yeah.
to the voting structure?
And
or
do you
like
also
what?
think that the runway should take more time? Because
A little bit.
And should it,
turbo?
Should it, yeah, I agree.
Fuck.
I mean, I think there should be. I think. Well, this is just because I don't want them to. I think it's, and I think they do it like on Top Chef too. I feel like when they want a certain person to go home, they nitpick the salt.
Right.
But the next week, the salt's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I feel like it's the same thing on this.
It's all planned.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, speaking of plan, my friend Andrew from Las Vegas, shout out. He sent me, or he showed me, if you ever go to Wikipedia and you go to RuPaul's Drag Race, do season 6, they have an outline of each winner
Oh yeah.
and
of each
loser
category,
and when they got eliminated. So he found the same thing for this season. And
frack.
obviously, no, but we looked at it and it's not right because the first person they had going home didn't go home. So it's wrong.
So where are you going?
I had seen one months before it aired, and it had names of people that weren't even on the show. Like, going home, I'm like, oh, well, okay. That must not be real.
Where are you going with that?
Oh,
Kenny
So don't believe it.
Kenny wanted to lecture us
don't
in the
believe it.
fact that you shouldn't go to Wikipedia because it's
Which is
edited
generally
by
true for
readers.
Wikipedia, period. It's not always factual, guys.
Yeah.
If I burst
Well, and
your
anybody
bubble,
can
I'm
write on Wikipedia.
Truly
Right.
sorry.
Yeah.
I know my favorite part of the performance.
What
Which
that?
was?
Row 1, seat 4.
Ooh.
I was actually a little distracted. Yeah, I'll take
By
row
the
1,
passengers?
seat 1. Yeah.
I will say though, if you've ever flown Virgin America, this is like the Virgin America, Virgin Atlantic, like in
Video.
flight.
Yeah,
video.
It took a bunch of
Yep.
So You Think You Can Dance dancers, and they created a safety video. It was also music.
It was
and
great. It's entertaining, and this was like we were all
rip-off.
saying. It's like inspired by that, but this is one of the most entertaining like
I literally,
shows that we've seen.
I set my pen. I didn't even want to write anything down.
Yeah.
I was like staring into the. I was
writing
from start to finish.
things. I
Captivated.
was writing things as I was watching, and looking back at my notes, they're all crooked because I couldn't look down. I was like, I can't look down. I can't look down.
Well,
That was the vodka.
So
you
now,
were drinking.
here's my question, because obviously they put a lot of time into this, whereas before, a lot of the performance episodes weren't there weren't a lot of time to be put into it. So I think this one specifically, a lot of time. Like maybe they said a day or so, but I think they spent all week.
If one of the girls is watching, will you comment below and tell us how long you had to do
Yeah,
it would be interesting to know. Interesting to know how long they had to work
I'm
on
going to
it.
backtrack a little bit because it is interesting to see the production side after Untucked. After Tempest got eliminated, how they made the other queens wait backstage while she went to the workroom, got her stuff, and left.
yeah.
Yeah,
And got her
then they
trophy.
opened the door.
The
Yeah,
trophy.
Yeah,
The new trophy.
And then they open the door, and then it's like they had a line to say as soon as the door opened. So a little production.
Yeah.
a lot.
I just want to throw that in there.
A lot.
So, what else?
But now,
So, yeah.
now we're exposing the dick in the soup.
Yes,
It's always,
it's always
been
been
there.
there. We've always known it, and I'm obviously not allowed to comment on editing anymore. So,
Fuck it. Comment. Why?
well, people get mad.
What? Who cares?
Let's not care if they care.
So is Tchotchke a dancer? I'm still waiting for that answer.
She's a dancer.
So
but
are you
she
a dancer?
dances, and she doesn't know how to dance, but she dances.
Jaden and her no excuse, but I'm gonna give you an excuse anyway because I had a knee injury.
No, ma'am.
That was super
ma'am.
dramatic. What else?
I wrote that this is just me. I love when they all come out to rehearse and they're in their boy clothes and heels. That's me vacuuming at home, basically. But I love it. I love
wouldn't
it. I
tell
think it's
anybody that.
fantastic.
I do it too
One of my
sometimes.
It's
know
very,
those
very
rib lips I
lethargic.
bought?
Everybody should try.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't have a pair of heels, hit me up on Twitter.
Kennedy Davenport threw a little, not so much, kind of a little bit of shade, and she was like, "Well, all that talking you'd be doing." I think it was towards Miss Fame.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All right,
and
That's some
again,
old
it's
school
the
shade.
older queens that are schooling the younger ones.
as they should.
I agree. I agree.
And that's when Jasmine said, you're in the wrong competition if you just want to do Runway.
No, I do. We've talked about this before about how one person stirs the pot and then like everybody
Let it watch it
Just
spin.
yeah.
It wasn't her intention. I think it
Yeah,
was.
I don't think it was
a
either.
ginger man.
No, I don't think she
It wasn't her
intended it.
intention.
She
but
even said it.
Yeah,
She was like,
she's
I didn't know everyone was going to jump on the bandwagon.
She's
Yeah.
like, this ain't West Side Story.
Oh, and then a quick touch on Fame and the loss of her grandfather, the murder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was super serious, real quick.
We had to rewind it because I was like, "What just
Her
happened?"
boyfriend died. Her husband Patrick. What happened?
Well, no, and I
Because she
missed.
showed this picture of her boyfriend or her
Boyfriend
husband first, and then I like blinked, and then it's like, and then my grandfather was murdered. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Wait.
And again,
No, you thought it was the boyfriend. Did the
Yeah.
boyfriend get murdered? No, the grandfather.
Well, it all started
Rewind.
with Trixie just randomly pull out a picture of her first time in drag. And then they cut to...
Go get your pictures, Fame.
Yeah.
I should bring next week my first picture.
Yes, please do.
That would be
Please do. We can put him up on the screen.
I was a blonde.
And I'll bring mine.
And I pulled a Violet tchotchke. You could see my boy hair.
Oh.
Violet.
Wear a wig cap. Little cap on your wig.
Suggestion.
What else?
Suggestion.
Runway?
Oh, but the picture of Violet in drag, I actually wanted to see it better.
Yeah, it wasn't really...
I'm shedding. I'm shedding.
Okay.
Got my eye on your wig. Don't
I'm
you
a
worry.
dirty hoe.
I got you.
But I wanted to see it better. It was, I can't tell if it's the TV's here, but it was all fuzzy.
But you know what I've noticed,
I think
though?
it was the TV.
When I watched it earlier on another TV, it's still blurry.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's logo
When I watch it
show in
online
general.
on my computer, it's really clear.
It's really
so.
clear.
Oh, is it clear?
Yeah.
So there you go. Watch it online. Don't watch it on TV.
So Runway.
Runway. It went fast. Talk about Runway.
Oh
Fucking
my
A. That was
gosh.
turbo Runway.
That was not nice.
That was
They've done it before. I remember one.
They've done it many times
where
before.
The season with Milk, and she had like a costume. She was pregnant,
Yeah.
and it was like boom, boom, boom.
There's like not even 4 seconds per contestant.
No.
No. And they had the still with the runway like thing.
And
yeah.
I'm sorry, I actually like the Runway. I
I
like
know.
it because
Yeah.
I like the commentary. It's funny. It's one of the reasons why
Whether
I
you
watch
agree
the
or
show.
disagree, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is fun to watch.
So who favorites?
My favorite,
Favorite runway outfit?
yes,
Okay.
Max was between Max and Dior.
Jaden Dior.
Yeah,
Fierce.
very close because they got the concept down.
Yes.
Whereas some of the other ones, again, missed the mark.
Were those yours?
Jaden was my favorite for Runway. Jaden.
I like
If you had to pick
Jaden.
a number 2.
Number 2, I actually liked Violet's.
I liked Violet's as well.
yeah.
Okay.
I
Hers
wasn't,
was
I
the-
wasn't trying to disclaim
She had the
it. I was-
leopard with the suitcase.
yeah,
With the suitcase.
But you can see her hair.
Yeah.
underneath.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after. Yours, Mark, what was yours?
I'm 100% with you, but I'm gonna invert it because I thought Max was hands down best.
Yeah.
Clean.
Hands down.
I like,
They were
Max was
close
clean,
first and
definitely.
second.
I think she nailed. I get there's different interpretations.
right.
Your interpretation of it, and I get that you have to get a lot of your drag closet into so many suitcases.
Right,
So
right.
I'm gonna give a little leeway, but I thought Max nailed it,
I
and
think Max is
and
that
I
dark
did not
horse. I
think
think Max is gonna be
Mrs.
that
Kasha Davis
long
was
runner.
Yeah.
bad.
I think yeah.
I thought Mrs. Kasha Davis
Jackie?
was good too.
I liked Kasha's.
Okay.
I think
Did you
Kasha's
have
was
a
my
top
favorite.
2?
I think Kasha's was my favorite, and then I like Jaden's.
Yeah.
I like Jaden's too.
I want to touch on
I'm
the
not trying to
whole-
copy you.
No, I was like, why aren't you surprised?
I want to touch on the whole interpretation because
Cam and I actually don't usually like the
Right?
same dresses. That's why I'm surprised.
You seem like you'd wear different style dresses.
we would.
As the
tried.
person
I
that sits
tried.
between
I'm a
the two.
onesie type of guy. I'm
I
a
will
jumpsuiter.
testify. to
Well, I
that.
wanted to touch on the whole interpretation because
Touch it.
Michelle Visage is the one that just like I don't like it, I didn't get it, blah blah blah.
And she is-
and I think the key word is interpretation.
Right.
Maybe I don't know. Like there were some that like Mrs. Kasha.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind hers. Mm-hmm. And again, it's all but it's an interpretation
Right.
of the theme of the
It was Jet Set Eleganza.
Eleganza.
Right.
So
That can mean-
does it mean you're getting on that it's something you wear on the plane? Is it something you wear after you got off the plane? Is it something you wear in the lounge? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. It
So,
is. It
with
really
that
is.
said-
So,
Subject
in
to
any
opinion.
scenario that he just listed, would any of you agree that Ginger Minge was on point with that dress
No.
that she was wearing? Not even Elizabeth Taylor would wear that for Jet Set.
but
Eleganza.
she defended it, and she defended it 100%.
by
She
kissing
did.
like-
Olivia Newton-John's ass.
Well,
Hey,
but
whatever gets you the
whatever
win.
works.
Just saying.
Whatever works.
And this goes back to our, how much weight does the runway actually have?
Yeah.
Because if
Is that
that's
a
the
comment?
case,
Just because she's a big girl?
Oh.
Was that a
Kenny.
fat comment?
That was a loaded.
Wait.
What
that
did
was
I
a
say?
loaded
This is
rip.
How much is
Scary.
the runway? The weight of the. We're
guys are pretty
kidding.
I
Seriously,
will
love
say
times.
though, like all of her dresses that I've seen her wear so far have fit her shape.
I'm going to
They've
say
all
this,
fit her
and I
shape.
wrote this down in my notes. I am thinking if there was a year for a big girl,
This is
I think
gonna be
Jaden
it.
and Ginger
Yes.
are nailing it. I think all the skinny girls on the show better be worried because I think they're
all the skinny girls are young. I don't foresee any of them going far.
I mean, and I'm not saying they can't. I'm not saying they can't because there have been people that have changed midway through where I was like, okay, I wasn't sure about it first. Who was it? We were talking about her in the room. Now I'm drawing a blank and I'm going to get yelled at because I don't remember one of 70 Queens' names.
7,000.
Oh my gosh. From season 3 was one of the Heathers.
Oh.
Naked all the time. Carmen Carrera, thank you. And I did know her name in the other room.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. We all have brain farts.
Her season, I could care less about her at the beginning. And then like halfway through, I was like, who is she? I like her. You know what I mean? Like, so there are, I'm going to give room for there to be change, but I think the big girls
that's what happened with Jinx Monsoon, though. Like, all of us were like, okay, who is this person?
Well, because she's slut.
Not me. I was never a Jinx fan, even to the end.
I thought you said
Sorry,
she was a slut.
Wasn't. Comment on that. You can hate me for all I care.
That was Roxy's season, wasn't it?
Yeah. I actually picked Jinx from the Meet the Queens. As winning.
Wow.
She was the only one that I watched that I was like, I want to know more about her. She just was so intriguing to me. And that's what I
don't remember her first half of that season with her. And then as Queens got...
Yeah, I only remember her as her makeup got better, as you saw her do more theater stuff, which is her thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and I'm going to say this too. I thought this. I didn't write it down. There are some things not on my notepad, by the way. And I just forgot it. Yeah. No, what I was going to say
Karma is a bitch.
I know, right? That's what happens when you get old. I forgot.
It's okay.
No, what I was going to say was, so the ones that were talking about performance, that they, yeah, but I look amazing. Makeup can be taught.
Yeah.
Rhythm cannot. So just bear that in mind. And I think a lot of us can attest, especially you guys have been doing this for since the beginning, right? You guys have been doing
they've been doing it since season 3. I started in season 4.
But you can attest that now you'll see some of the girls from season 3 that you were like, makeup, that now you see them and you're like, on point. It can be learned.
There were queens that were in the bottom that have been sent home on season.
What you gotta say, Kenny? Well, I see it boiling over.
He's boiling over.
No, okay, so someone made the comment on the show about finally being on the show.
What?
And I feel like a bitch for saying this, but...
You are.
If you didn't get picked in the earlier seasons, that means you weren't as good at,
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry, I couldn't.
No, because I feel like they're like all excited.
Wait, Kenny, you don't know Mark is friends with Jasmine?
No.
I love her. I love her.
But then she's one of those that's tried out numerous times.
Mark
but I think, but I have. But I will say this too. My first video, which I don't even know, one of them's on YouTube. I think my season 5 video is on YouTube. If you want to watch it, it's hysterical. But it did make you want to do better for the next video when you didn't get picked. So, and I was thinking this too. This I thought would be funny, and I think I might do this. I'm gonna have people send me your video of when you got the email saying you didn't get on. I want to see those reactions.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, are you gonna try it again?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. I think that ship has sailed.
Okay.
And I'm happy here at AfterBuzz just talking about it.
Okay, good.
We're already going to get ripped for talking about a
vacuum.
different season.
Yeah.
Because we talked about an old season. We're going to have a whole bunch of comments. Yeah, stay on track.
I enjoy doing it. I don't know that
Whatever the comment is, make it down below. So.
Yeah, make it right.
I'm all for it. So, do we agree? Do we agree with the bottom 2?
I did.
Oh, let me think.
Sasha Belle was
well deserved.
Well deserved in the bottom 2.
The thing that
well, let's talk about the bottom 3 because bottom 3 was Miss Fame,
Sasha Belle, and the Pearl. Katya.
I'm with you guys.
Oh my gosh! I think earlier I said I like Kasha's dress when I meant Katya. Their names are too similar.
Comment on that.
Yeah.
Comment on if their names are
change
too
their
similar.
drag name.
They should change their drag name.
Well, I had to have someone.
Somebody's already typing. Jackie doesn't even know what the fuck she's talking about.
I had to have Mark explain Ginger Minge to me. So.
Well, it was on her Meet the Queen. That's the only reason I knew.
Oh, okay.
It was because they asked them all how they.
Or if you like British vagina slang.
Yeah. I have to say that this year the names aren't that spectacular.
I know there's no Alaska Thunderfuck.
Yeah.
Well, she was just Alaska because they weren't allowed to say.
On the show. Detox had a
Detoxy-cunt? There's no that.
It's just Detox. But she's always kind of been just
Detox.
Detox.
It's kind of boring, the name.
So we agreed about the bottom 3.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was anybody else that I thought.
I can't believe Cam is keeping us on track. That is something new.
Cam is the ass master.
Cam is actually
Go Cam.
Geronimo.
I'm trying to think who else.
Sasha's wigs, though, this...
I didn't hate her wig.
The thing with her wigs, she's
big blonde.
She's worn the same wig style every time.
Well, what she should have done, she should have wore that wig last week to cover up that black bra in the back.
Yes.
Just a word of advice. Just a suggestion.
I just didn't like the fact that it's the exact same wig style. I think that's what's driving me a little bit crazy about Max. Is the same wig style.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting?
And I get it's her thing.
I like Max better out of drag as like a commenter than in drag.
I do. He's a character.
That the same kind of thing happened to me with Alaska.
But I think we were talking about too about the people who have their favorites and stuff. When you are from like my hometown when I started doing drag was in Columbus, Ohio, and shout out to my peeps in Columbus.
Are you Ohio State?
Go Bucks! Yes. That's a whole nother show. No, but when you grow up with everybody and you get to know them and you know their backstories and stuff like that, you get really attached to them.
Did you say cunt?
I did not. I would never, my lady.
Cunty.
I'm gonna recognize Ohio State now.
See, I went to school in Southern Maryland, so the queens I knew were like they were
in the South.
They were Southern theater
Ginger
queens.
Minge.
They were like Southern theater queens.
Sasha
so
Bell,
like whenever I like those type of queens.
And you do, and there's regional drag too. Like people will go to different cities, and what they like there is not what they like in the South.
Like
the South is, and like Florida and that, they're big pageant. That's Kennedy Davenport, Ginger Minge. You know what I mean? They look a certain way.
Mariah,
you can almost tell.
right?
You can almost tell when.
Yeah, somebody commented last season about Seattle queens being more shtick queens and a little bit more comedy theater queens.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what's funny is like we had either two camps of queens. There was either the very like debutante pageanty queens, or there was like just straight up comedy.
Well,
queens.
I think the thing.
I keep hearing the word cunty. I don't know why.
Comedy.
Sometimes I really wanted to hear. I think
Michelle Verschrei.
Well,
Sorry.
I think the point of this whole thing is for them you can be who you are, but bring that to this challenge. Bring that to
however, I think that RuPaul and a lot of the judges are specifically looking for a certain type.
Yeah.
They have their favorite.
I agree.
Of course.
I agree.
So, I mean, it's kind of unfair, but...
But I will say the season when...
Are we talking about past
when Sharon Needles won, when they started letting us voice our opinion and vote. That's, I do believe, when it kind of started changing, because I think the first couple seasons it was who they wanted to win.
Who she wanted, yeah.
But I think Chad Michaels was very surprised she didn't win that season.
Sorry. I like Chad Michaels.
I did. That's why she won All-Star.
But they're just so different. And I think when you look back and you see, you give them, the people, a chance to decide.
Again, with Chad Michaels winning All-Star, we didn't have a say in that.
No.
So... There you go.
Because I think that would have went a little differently.
Yes.
I did want to add on to Kenny's comment about when we see people making comments on the side. I actually think, for me, as much as I like Kennedy Davenport and she has an old style of shade, my favorite right now is Fame as a boy making comments on the side. His shit is funny.
Yeah, he is.
Go back and watch his stuff.
I actually was going to say that.
If you think you're a ripper, go back. That bitch throws some good shade.
I agree.
I'm all fan of that.
I was going to write it down. I'm enjoying watching him as a boy commenting.
Wait, I just fucked up. Not Fame.
Pearl.
That's
See,
what
again,
Pearl. Sorry,
they're all.
You can rip me. I'm fine. It's Pearl.
But that's what I was saying in the beginning. Is like Pearl. When you go and watch when you watch Untucked, you realize that you're like, oh, Pearl's gonna come up and you're not gonna even know it because she deadpans it like Daria.
But I'm more entertained by her as a boy. That's the thing. Like I want to kind of see that come through in the drag.
In the drag, yeah.
I think Pearl. You know what's interesting is like
I don't want to explain what
Pearl is beautiful as a drag queen, and I think that. What?
Go ahead. I'm just,
I
have to write stuff down.
It's like we're in a court of law. You know, you hear
something we talked about. I just want to bring it. Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
Pearl is beautiful as a drag queen, and I think that, I don't know. It's like, you're right. She does get lost in. There's a lot of beautiful queens this season where it's not like very shticky. You don't have a lot of like real. I
like fish queens. And I want bitches that can rip. And right now she's in that category.
She's on one.
The library has not opened yet.
Mark is about to have a comment about Pearl. Go ahead, Mark.
No, it's not a. You said it, and I said it last week when you weren't here. And I just, when you said it in the room,
the bitch can't walk.
She can't walk in heels.
Yeah.
Come on. That's drag 101. Put them on, walk around the room,
but you know
do laps,
what?
whatever you gotta do.
Alaska had that same kind of crappy walk.
Like she was about to fall over because she's had too much alcohol.
Work. I mean,
and Sharon did it on purpose too. Sometimes Sharon would walk that way on purpose.
It was part of her shtick.
And maybe the stage is really slippery. Whatever, I get it. I've been in heels. I've slipped around on stage. I'm sure there's comments about how silly I looked.
I think it was Jay Snivens who defended us, and he went into this whole educational tirade on YouTube about affectation.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I love
Shout
you
out
guys.
to Jay Snivens. That's what I'm talking about. Rip. It's all good.
All day long.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
Kennedy.
I don't
even know
Kenyatta.
his name. And he's my friend.
Was
until today. You have to say the thing is, because there's a drinking game going on right now.
Well, here's the thing.
Here's the thing. That's the first time I've said it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really? Here's the thing.
Well, here's the thing.
I want for people to get that drink on.
Okay, well, next week. I didn't know this was a drinking game. Next time we'll participate. So here's the thing.
Drinking game. You got my attention.
Yeah. So that's it, pretty much, from the episode.
Wait, so she won a 5-day vacation. Ginger won. Blah blah blah. I think she won because she was the head
of the gay getaway.
Gay getaway.
Wait, but
she won because
it didn't have a
destination.
There was no destination.
That was it.
It's Palm Springs.
Yeah.
San
Francisco. Yeah,
Fire
Vegas,
Island.
maybe Fire Island.
The back alley of your
What
choice.
happened to Alan Chuck Travel?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
Yeah,
done.
But I think she won because she was the leader of the group. As much as it was an individual,
she was in the front.
She won because that.
Yeah, and that when they came in, that entrance,
it was good.
That blew me away. I was hands down.
It
was so living
for
that.
She was also the one in rehearsals. Like, I'm not a dancer.
I can't do that.
Exactly.
I can't do
well,
that.
but that's also why they showed that stuff.
Yeah. So.
Produced. Katya, I like her, but big pet peeve, shoes. Keep your shoes on. Sorry, Latrice, same thing. Somebody ripped us about talking about Latrice. Latrice took her shoes off. No, don't do it.
I think they ripped.
Keep your shoes on. Sorry.
I think the only time I took my shoes off, and actually I didn't take them both off. I took one off because my heel broke.
There better be other shoes underneath.
I did the whole number in one shoe.
Or hide your
actually
feet.
on YouTube.
Hide your feet. Sit on the floor and hide your feet.
Yeah. It was a boot.
Don't take your shoes off.
So who do you think actually won? Like I do think Katya won.
Katya won it. Just don't take your shoes
off.
Yeah.
Sasha was boring.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah. And her boob came out. Can we talk about her boob coming out?
Her boob came out.
So that's worse than...
It is, but it's not like she did it on purpose.
No.
It just plopped out.
And we've had other queens take out their falsies too.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Me,
I think you should just keep it on. Unless you have a wig underneath another wig.
Unless you got your wig underneath your
wig.
And
who did that, Kenny?
I feel...
Who did that?
Some chick.
Wasn't Jinx.
I feel like, though, when that stuff happens, it's happening because of desperation. And they're not performing well, so they need to have a gimmick.
All about a gimmick. Because
like the
water off a duck's back.
What are you writing?
I'm just trying to remember everybody's name. Sasha.
I feel like we're giving you a test.
I'm just like trying to think if I can remember everybody's name while we're sitting here. Because just last week you had the picture here with everybody.
I know. Next time
we should bring that and then cross out the queen.
Last season I gave everyone a cheat sheet.
Yeah.
You should.
Why didn't you do that this
because
year,
I didn't have time. I was in Mexico. I had time for that. Sorry.
I see
Next
how it
week.
Is. Our leader has jumped.
Hey, did you guys pick like your top 3, your pre-season?
Yeah.
We tried. It turned into a shit fest.
Can we do it now?
Yeah.
Since we're done with the episode?
And now we have more. We know a little bit more about the queens. So,
yes.
we had time to actually visit and talk amongst each other and actually rewind.
Who is your top 3 right? Well, no, who do you think will be the top 3 in the end?
In the end?
Oh, yeah, we can do predictions.
Wait, who is your top 3 or who do you think will be in the top 3? Because them is 2 different things.
My top, who's going to be in the top 3 for me? It's going to be Ginger Minge. Kasha Davis, and Kennedy Davenport. And I'm picking the 3 like older, more seasoned. My 4th dark horse is going to be Max. I think it's going to be a dark horse.
Oh, I think Max will definitely be in the top. I mean, I'm not, and it's so weird because it's like, I'm not actually a huge fan of Max, but I do see the appeal. Like, I think Max will be in the top. Yeah.
I gotta say this. He looks the same in and out of drag. He looks like a boy in drag sometimes. He has that face. He has that boy face.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Max.
Sorry, I was still working on names. Max. I like Max.
I don't know.
I like
his
him
face
too.
kind of looks like Alan Cummings in Cabaret to me.
He's a cross between Milk and Sharon Needles. I mean,
that's
no,
a good,
I agree.
That's a good
I'm
analogy.
still trying to pick my 3. Sorry.
pick it fast.
It's a lot of
I don't
pressure.
have all night.
I feel like I'm missing names. Oh, Miss Fame.
Here, you want a list? I
Do you
got
have
it.
Wait,
a list?
did you guys do your top
Can
3?
I see your
I
list?
did. I just did.
Repeat.
Mine, Kennedy Davenport.
Got that.
Missing one.
Ginger Minge.
Ginger Minge and Kasha Davis.
Got
Who
it.
am I missing?
Jackie.
Wait, are we talking about ones that...
Who you think you're going to be
in the
top
top
3?
3?
Not your pick. Who
not
you
my
think is going to
pick,
be
who
top 3?
I think. I think Katya,
Oh,
Max,
go figure. That was
and
the one.
Ginger Minge. But those aren't necessarily the ones I want to be in the
We'll
top.
get that later.
Okay, yeah, go.
Okay, my top 3?
Yeah.
Ginger, Kasha, and I'm going with only because Tempa's gone because I really like
No
Tempest.
disclaimers.
I'm gonna go with Katya. Actually, I think she's gonna be the one that turns it around.
Katya.
I really do. I really
Okay,
do.
I'm gonna
Sometimes
go-
being in the bottom, really
Makes you a top.
I mean, remember Raven was in the bottom.
Good one. And you're not even.
I'm going to
Those
go
are my
with
3.
Kennedy
Boom, boom, boom.
Davenport, Chachki.
I think Kennedy will go home 4th.
Wow.
I'm going to go with Chachki, and I'm going to go with Max. This is who we think is going to end up, not who our personal choices are. This is
No,
who
those
we
are
think.
my personal
Actually,
choices.
yeah, those
Oh.
are my personal
Okay,
choices.
then, you know what?
No.
Fuck this show.
No. No, but I think I think they're going to be in the
Okay,
top
then
3.
I'm going to do my personal. I want Chachki, Pearl, and Max to be in the final.
Why Chachki?
Because I think she's cunty.
I wouldn't.
I think she's cute and she's
think-
cunty. I don't
think
care.
she's going to trip up.
I don't
think-
care. I don't care. I'm just saying my personal choices. I already said who I
My
thought the person
personal
was gonna put
choices
in.
would be Pearl, Katya, and Ginger Minge. But then, like, I want Trixie to be 4th.
See, I like Trixie too. I
Yeah.
kind of left her out,
I
and I
have
like
a-
Max
yeah.
too.
Because
I mean,
I think
personally-
Ginger's gonna trip up too.
I think Jasmine's the funniest one. I like
Jasmine's
her.
I like
funny.
Jasmine.
I love her.
But I think something's gonna happen with that.
She reminds
yeah.
me of Carol Burnett, the way she looks. Just
Yeah.
saying.
I love.
Well, we
Jazz.
totally turned this show into a shit fest. So let's reel it in. How do we end this show?
How do we end the show? Where can they find you again, Jackie?
At 123 Jackie_B on Twitter. At 123 Jackie B, all one word, on Instagram.
Mark?
At Lorraine Love on Instagram and Twitter. LORAYNELOVE.
Cam?
That's a mouthful. At Tamakava777.
I've heard that many times.
And Kennedy.
You have.
Kennedy.
And Kennedy. You can find me at my new handle, Kenny C. Harrison. That's it.
Thank you for watching.
Just
We'll
no,
be here
thank
next week.
I don't do that anymore. Thanks for make your comments down below.
Thank you, Marissa.
Tweet us. Thanks, Marissa.
Thank
what
you.
else? Are we done? We'll see you next week. Same time. Make your comments.
Haters gonna hate.
iTunes.
Haters gonna hate.
Same time, same haters gonna hate place.
And we're out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.